double 24s. Going forward, clean and jerk, long cycle PR with these 8 and 7. I could also just do double snatch with these. I've been working on the double snatch the past week. Did 130 reps in 10 minutes with 18s. And then yesterday I did 200 reps in 20 minutes with them. So that 10 minute or 10 reps a minute for extended periods of time seems to be challenging but very doable. Where he's pushing the reps up to 13 seems to be about a limit. No way to make that stronger. Hi birds, there's birds outside. Is to just go heavier weights. It's looking at me through the window. It's funny. I like the birds, honestly. So yeah, I've really been liking the double snatch. You know what? Do double snatch. Just 6. I didn't plan to do this, so I didn't warm up for the double 24 kilo snatch. So those first couple sets are gonna be kind of rough. But I am fairly confident I can get 60 reps in 10 minutes, especially with the put down here. Snatch is all cardio. See that? We're even swinging it. $60 reps in 10 minutes with double 24s is considered pretty good. Granted, that isn't a straight 10-minute set, but I don't really see the point of dragging it out. It's not like jerk where the muscles start to burn and that becomes like muscular fatigue becomes a real problem. If you rest in the rack properly, holding the weight shouldn't really add much to the snatch at all. Like I said, the reason I'm training mostly these two lifts is just due to the knee. It's like a proper deep squat seems to cause me some pain. I could go to the gym and probably do back squats though. And the reason is because I low bar squat, and that doesn't get the knee in a lot of, it doesn't get me to the point where the pain kicks in. Only the front squat, because I can go real deep on a front squat. So it's hard to do that, but it's not as bad as going 18s for 13. So that backswing on the 24s kind of makes it simultaneously easier and harder. So with the swing, you don't include the quads and the glutes as much. So there's less musculature involved, means you don't fatigue as quick. But with the heavier weights, the grip starts to go. So in the world of kettlebell sport, for a male, 60 of these in 10 minutes gets you some sort of certification. So that's cool. And I've said before, if I were to legitimately compete in sport, it would be snatch. because it really just comes down to your cardio. Grip strength a bit, but and I do actually believe that a 10-minute set unbroken of single snatch, especially with a heavier weight, is probably more difficult than the double half snatch, simply because with a double half snatch you get the rack position to rest in, and with the single snatch you don't get the rack, and you usually only get one hand switch. So that one, probably tougher. I'm curious how many sets I've hit. Oh, 11. So yeah, this isn't as tough as pushing the reps on lighter weight. But I did start at 6, giving myself room for improvement. Well, I think the last video I made I was doing single 24 kilo snatch. And this week I've been experimenting, like I said, with double. And as I've said before, when you push the reps on double, it is harder. But if you keep the reps equal, so let's say I did single 24 and I did 6 per arm or 7 or 8 per arm, that's harder than what I'm doing right now. Even though this is more weight, that only applies when the reps are equalized. As soon as you start pushing the reps on the double snatch, yes, it is harder relative to the weight of your single bell. So I think those are things I can definitively say now, that my theory about how the snatch works is correct. More weight does not always mean it's going to be harder. In some cases, it's a lot easier. Feels good. Excuse me, I had chili last night. Still fucking me up. I do think my technique with this weight needs some refinement. But again, I haven't done these in a while. And I have basically been training double snatch exclusively with 18s, so. I do feel like this lift has a real carryover to the jerk, as well as obviously the long cycle. And I think it's to the degree where you can just kind of eliminate long cycle training. So you train the snatch and the jerk. And you probably don't need to do long cycle outside of pushing like I do, where it's a challenge. Because still, rep for rep, clean plus is tougher. And the only thing that really is harder is doing jerks without putting them down. And that's harder because of the fatigue buildup. Okay, but now, starting to get to that point where this is tough. And it's more so, it's not so much the cardio. I feel like it's just the nature of which I'm moving the weight. That level of explosivity is starting to take its toll. I'm glad I wore these pants so I can't do a power snatch style as comfortably. So I have to work on that backswing with these. That's good. I know guys like Dan John and Jeff Newport don't really like this lift, but if you drop it to rack, that really does eliminate the portion you're most likely to get hurt on with double snatch. So I think as long as you do double half snatch, you're fine. You can see technique's starting to go a little bit. Not that it was that refined to begin with. And like I said, that's just due to the buildup, the accumulative effect of doing a lot of these like this. But this is a PR for me. So far I've set 3 snatch PRs this week. 120 double, 24 kilo snatch in 20 minutes. Pretty good attempt, I think. Especially considering I haven't done that exercise with these weights in quite a while. And I wasn't even really properly warmed up to do it. Really, only that first set, surprisingly, only that first set was kind of rough. I thought the first few, it would take me a while to get into, but now it's kind of that first set. So that shows me that even training with lighter weights, you get that nervous system efficiency. And this is why I always say you don't need super heavy kettlebells to make progress. Training these movement patterns for a lot of reps with lighter weights kind of gets you, it puts you in a state where you can handle heavier, and obviously the heavier you go, the more you'll be able to handle. Because if you think about it, if I got this up to 20 or 30 minutes, so let's say I pushed the 20-minute set up to 8 reps a minute, so 160. The carryover that's going to have to me doing 18s is crazy. It's probably going to make it so that 13 minutes or that 13 reps a minute pace is no longer like close to my max. It's probably going to make it more like 10s, or something I can sustain for 20, possibly 30 minutes. And if I push the 18s up to 30 minutes straight at 10, it would probably allow me to do this for 20 minutes at 8. So like the carryover is there. You don't need super heavy kettlebells. You just need to train the important lifts, which is your snatch, your jerk, and your clean and jerk. And at a certain point, you don't need to train the clean with the jerk. You can just train snatch and jerk. But generally, like starting out, I would recommend the long cycle first. Get good at the long cycle and then move on to the snatch and the jerk. And right now, I'm trying to specialize the snatch. I was initially going to do that with a single 24, but I find the doubles are just better overall. Because if I'm able to push the pace with double 18s, that is 80 pounds versus 53 pounds if I do single snatch. The conditioning from the extra weight on the ballistics is going to have a bigger impact than doubling up the reps with a single bell, even though that is still efficient. So yeah, that's going to strengthen my technique a little more. Plus, I feel like from doing these double half snatches, my back is actually improved. This is the 3rd double half snatch session this week, and my back is feeling really good. And like obviously the single snatch is great too, and I'll do a mix of both, but I wanted to test these. I was initially going to do long cycle, but I decided to give these a shot, and glad I did, because that is another PR this week. Like I said, first one, 10-minute set, 130 reps in 10 minutes. That's a rep PR with that weight. And then yesterday I did 20 minutes at 10 with the double 18s. That's a rep PR. And then today, 20 minutes at 6 with double 24s, also a PR. Tough, did not challenge the conditioning as much as I thought. Was tough on everything else. So I have to build that up. So Probably won't train this again until Saturday or Sunday. And I've kind of bypassed the 20s, which is surprising. So maybe 3 double snatch sessions per week. 18, 24, 20. Put the 24 in the middle. It's not a terrible idea. Because I think I've demonstrated enough that the light weights, pushing the reps, has carryover to heavier weights with lower reps. Because you're still training the movement, you're training that neural efficiency. It's kind of like powerlifting, just with more reps and lighter weight, with a different goal, but the principle of building it up is the same. So that proper powerlifting arc I went on over the summer really kind of opened my eyes to like a totally new way of programming. So I'm glad I did that. But yeah, getting it.